quickly jump on our group into tipping and let them know that our tips are going live. Tipping group. Right. Welcome, the Past Dog.
Joa, or the Joa Knight. How are you?
Joa Knight. I'm good. Thank you for joining me on this.
No problem.
Last season you were a fantastic tipster. I think you came second, did you not?
I did, and I brought home the chocolates. So I won the cash prize because the actual winner, Planting Lima, did not contribute to the financial component. So I was the winner of that one. Of course, hopefully I haven't broken any broadcast rules by talking about a gambling.
No, we weren't gambling. We just put some money into a table and you walked past and collected it all.
Well, that's right. A digital table.
Exactly.
But anyway, so that was season 8. Now we're on season 9.
The last season for this cycle, which is a free cycle system. I think it was 1,700 we had to start with our TV. Some people have got to that 1,700 exactly. Some have taken halflings at around 800.
Oh, well, we'll get to that team shortly, actually. That's one of the first teams off the rank.
They are. We'll start with Wank Tank, I think. So let me just jump into there. Details. Who do you want to talk to? 6 teams. 6 teams per group, which means it's 5 games in the round robin you get to play. Being round 3, what have we got? Who have we got coming up?
So first up, we've got that halfling team that you talked about. We've got the Comic Relief. They've got a TV of 980 at the moment, and they're playing off against the Bretonian team, the Canberra Crusaders from Dubsmat. So we've got Joel, or Jay Bonamini, running the Comic Relief, and the Canberra Crusaders. Now, these blokes, I happen to have known one of them for 30 years and the other one for 20 years. And I can safely say they're both shit at Blood Bowl. So it's going to be
they're enthusiastic, thank you. They're enthusiastic.
And they're both, well, Joel's brand new to the league, brought in by me this season, and Dubsmat brought me into it last season. So, and he'd only played a season himself. So I think we're all still learning the ropes. So do you want to start with a quick look at the Canberra Crusaders?
I've actually got
the Bretonian team. Open. Oh, you got them open? All right, well, let's go there.
Because Joel has been a great sport so far.
The best sport after copying or hiding.
Oh, mate. So, for those wondering, his last game, and I'll bring it up on history. I'm sorry to do this, a 0-8 against Wood Elves.
League record.
The complete package went full hand from the start and did not let go at all, did he? I think he pulled the tree first turn.
Yes, but it was safely appoed, so it was back in the game.
So he had the good appo, always a good thing. There's not really much to this team. It's really just an introduction team and introduction to our group, really, isn't it? He's got
pretty
block
much.
on the
That's
treatment.
right.
He does have block on the treatment.
Yeah, so he leveled him up last game, and he was talking to me about Terry Timber and what he should do, and he was trying to get creative, but I said to him, block's got to be the way to go on your first one. He rolled doubles. He could have taken jump up, but treatment is so much more formidable with that block. And I think he's one of 2 skill ups. So the only other skill up he's got is a halfling with kick.
Who's missing next game.
That's right. So
bit of a rough one there.
Yeah. Another interesting thing here, he's stocked up his team to the full 15 complement. So he's going to have a little trouble purchasing some star players this round, which I think will go against him.
So you think he should probably drop maybe one, at least the injured guy, but he's got kick, hasn't he?
Yeah, look, and it's the only skill he's got, and kick can be pretty handy when you're trying to come back from behind in the second half. So I reckon he'll hang on to that.
So 980. Let's have a look at the Canberras, because we've got 1590. So what's that? We've got nearly 600. That's a chef, a wizard. Can you get...
And a decent star player. Probably could fit. He's got Knuffles Alter, Joel. So the comic relief have Knuffles Alter, so they'll get some cheap star players. So might take Puggy and Deep Root.
Yeah, so that's fine.
Yeah.
So what have we got here? Now, Matt, discovered that he's quite a young'un. But... No,
different Matt. Matt. This guy's as old as Jesus.
Oh, me. Okay, good to hear. Excellent. This Matt, unfortunately, has the worst injury luck I've ever seen.
It's amazing, isn't it?
He
tried to abandon this. Bretonian team before the last season, and he ran a couple of teams with a bit higher AV. But the Orc team that I was building up to play in season 8, I think got 5 casualties on his new teams in two games. Sorry, 5 deaths in 2 games, not just casualties, deaths. He's got the worst luck with the Apo. He always doubles it up with dead. I don't even know why he has an Apo, to be honest. And as you can see, he's been limited. Like he's got it. He's had to keep a lot of these injured players.
He has.
A lineman. Yeah, look at all them skills. Like that's tough to get rid of for him.
Yeah, you can't do it. But so there we go. He's got a Blitzer, Mighty Blow, Tag. So he's got a killer in Bob Long III. Jesus. that sums up how bad he's had a bad run. That's accurate, I believe. Let's have a quick look. Yep, accurate. So he's got a thrower. I don't mind the team. The only thing I would say, he likes to man up a lot. That's the only issue. And I think that's probably what's compounding his injuries.
Right.
He does seem to man up more than he should.
I reckon that'll pay off in this game, though. Like, if he's manning up against halflings, I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem.
Right. You want to. You really want to smash it in there.
As long as he can step out of the way of the old trees, which isn't usually too much of a problem, he'll be fine. He's got a couple of dodge pieces there. So, and he's got all the skills to win it. I think if we're getting down to brass tacks, I suppose my picks for the Crusaders, I think Matt's got a bit more experience under his belt than Joel. Joel's playing a really undercooked halfling team. And Brett's hard to play for any team. Matt's starting to get a feel for him, and it's a little hard to do anything to him sometimes. So it'll be interesting, but I reckon Matt will get this one.
I think so too. I think it's going to be a 2-0. And as you said, just give him those treatment. Just give him a lineman with Fend. Can never follow up, no problems.
Yep.
Or if you really want to shits and giggles, just give him a unskilled blocker, both down.
Oh yeah, yeah, and Joel hasn't a chance to skill him up with anything that'll let him stand up. So that'll be a high risk strategy, hitting a blocker for Joel. So and Brett's one of these teams that if you've not played him a lot, which Joel hasn't, he's only just recently bought the second lot of teams. He's going to have a bit of a hard time, I reckon. So I reckon it's an easy one for Matt there.
Yep, Canberra to win. All
right, so the next team we've got, or the next game we've got, is the Carnage Lizards with Matt M, our Mr. M891 on the screen there, and the Kunsheim Kaisers from Brogdenetti.
All right, let's
league stalwart.
We'll start with the Lizards, I think. They've got a level up yet to choose. We'll have a look at that. So what have we got here? We've got a nice looking team. A Croxigore to level. That's what's coming up. It's got guard. Wow. It's got stand firm.
Jeez, that could make or break that game, couldn't it? And, if he gets doubles on that could be very interesting.
Just wants the doubles, doesn't he? I like his team.
He really does.
5 blocks. He's got 2 break tackles, 2 mighty blows, and not too much. A skink with agility 4, so it's a really
that's a super skink there. Block, agility 4. If it goes down, it's in trouble with that armor bust, but,
He's also been targeted.
Yeah.
Sure.
Actually, that's one thing we should do with each of these games. We should put a bounty on it into each game, and pending what we have a look at when we...
Yeah, I'm up for that. I think that's skink.
Bounty on it.
I think that skink's... that's a linchpin. I mean, if you can take that skink out... you're obviously not going to win the game just by taking him out, but you've definitely put a bit of pressure onto it.
Well, if you can knock out most of the skinks, then the lizard team's always going to have a bit of a hard time scoring. So, and that one in particular is the one that I imagine picks up the ball most often. So if you can chop him, you'll have done well. Lock of Tlaxland.
Absolutely. Would you have taken the movement on the Saurus?
Look, makes him a pretty bloody, like, it's an investment. It doesn't pay off immediately, and in this season maybe not, but you look where he's up to, 30 or 31, like, it doesn't take him much to level, and he becomes a pretty scary mighty blow piece, I reckon, because he can pretty much hit anybody from anywhere in the field at that point. So I see the attraction. The alternative would have probably been guard.
Or another break tackle. I know he's probably going to get break tackle, and as you said, it is going to pay off. But boy, he must have been getting some MVPs coming his way to get up to 31, because Sauruses are hard to level.
Well, he's got a lot of leveling here, so he's done well. Had a good bit of luck.
He has one apothecary, 3 rentals, and I'm just having a look at his club. No enhancements. So, all right. But then Brog.
So to the Kaisers. Now, Brog's, having only been around for a couple of seasons, and I haven't had a lot to do with Brog, mostly listen to him commentate, but I understand he's a pretty good coach, but I think he's in a bit of trouble here. He's got his thrower MNG'd, he's got his alignment MNG, which means he's only got 11 on the field, no bench.
You're welcome.
There's no... That was you, was it? Nicely done. There's not a much difference here on the team value, and he doesn't have a lot of money in his own kitty, so he's going to...
Mangina.
A beast. Guard, block. What's that other one? Is that grab, is it?
Grab.
Yeah.
I took a few swipes at him with my werewolves, and it wasn't easy. I ended up having to ignore it. He's just too much.
But a Crocs and a few Saurus are going to have a much better time of it than an undead team. So, I don't know. Look, I've got the draw on this one, to be honest. I think Brog's a pretty competent coach, and he's going to really stick it to Matt, and I think he's going to really make it hard for him. Note that he's got those 2 dirty players too, which is pretty cool.
And he's got a stadium sort of bribe.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Excellent.
Yeah,
well, he'll be able to take really good advantage of that normally, but he's down those players, so he probably won't start doing it until he's knocked a couple of the skinks out. So,
which means the Lizardmen are going to have to try and take even one or two linemen out.
Yeah.
But that's the thing though, bribe. You've got a freebie. You just keep going until that freebie goes.
Yeah.
And you probably want to do it early while you've got the players. You don't want to try and do it when you've lost it. So I think you might see, if it is a home game for him, you'll see the kicks come out quick and fast until that bribe is used to try and get the advantage. But I think a draw is a good idea. I like the idea of a draw. And just because his thrower is gone, it's just very short against a bashy team. It's going to be very difficult.
Yeah, I reckon it'll be tough for him. Now, I think you actually tipped someone here though, Joe. Who are you actually flagging?
I feel like a draw is probably, having looked at it properly, I think I may have said a draw. I'm not going to I'm the kiss of death anyway. Have you got mine up there? Because I've got my Twitter open. I can't check it out.
Yeah, I'll pull it up while we move on to the next game, just to remind you of what you've actually tipped. But so the next game is Horny Deer Pointy Ears with Zidrick against a truly fucking shit coach, the Jawa Knight.
Managed to dodge the wooden spoon just.
So doing it doggy style.
We'll jump into mine first. I'll let you take the lead because I'm going to rip into yours when I get to yours.
Yeah, as you should. I'm just loading it up.
Right.
So you're looking pretty hale here. Like you're only too short of a 16-man squad. All your skilled pieces are in there. It's going to be pretty good. Your track record. Let's go to your history.
Oh, let's not do that. That's horrible.
So you've had a draw. You won. You beat the Halflings. So your start to this season's probably not stellar because they're easily the worst team. And then you had an all right run prior to that. But I think those last other are in actual casual carnage, are they?
Yeah, they are.
So, but you went out to the winners in season 8.
I did.
I so that's got a
so badly. That was the biggest choke of my life.
Yeah, well, it was a pretty tough. It's a tough call. That team's great, and Luke's an excellent coach. So, look, you've obviously got a formidable team, and you're, as much as it pains me to say it, you're a pretty good coach too. So, I think you give Zitters a bit of a run for his money there.
I do have tackle. So
it makes a lot of difference.
One of them's a zombie, and a lot of people forget the zombies are there, and it looks like a kick. So some people think it's actually a kick, including myself sometimes when I set up. It's
easily the worst. It's the worst picture for a skill, isn't it?
It is. Considering that kick is literally the same picture with just a ball.
Yeah.
So I line them up.
It's like they think a trip is a tackle. You know, the people who made the pictures have never played any form of fucking football, have they?
No, but I mean, you've already got grab and stuff, so... Look, I'm happy with my team. There's not much else I would change. I finally got block on Jimmy Savile. And obviously my star player is my werewolf.
Shit cunt.
Shit cunt. I do have an upgrade. I've got the security gate. So there will be no riot or pitch evasion, which came in handy against Brog last game because a riot did come up.
Yeah, right, and was cancelled. Well, that's great. I've also got that on my stadium, actually. Like, it's just... I'd rather just win... If I need it, then I should have lost anyway. I'd rather just win without it.
Pretty much.
That's kind of where I come from. So I'm opening up Zidrick's team. Let's have a bit of a look at what he's got to offer.
Jump in there. The complete package he is.
And, he's just coming off that 8-0 win.
He is, which is... Hopefully he's super confident and he tries all that shit with my team. I am hoping he tries to rush me.
So he lost to the... no, he didn't. He beat the Carnage Lizards, but only by 1. So he didn't rack up the points, but that doesn't matter. That's all you need, really. And then the last time you played him, which must have been in Cash Carnage, it was a draw. So you probably got a little bit of something to prove there, Joe.
No, I've actually
take him down.
No, I've beaten him twice in proper leagues.
Okay, so all right. Okay. How many times has he beaten you?
None.
Oh, right. So under pressure. Look, I might be regretting my call because I tipped Zids. He's just coming off. He's coming off a pretty good run.
Those times I was lucky. Sidgwick's defence is phenomenal. It takes a lot of pressure on my side to try and just crack open his defence. He will dodge. He will GFI. He will get in your way so easily that I pretty much have to rely on him failing a dodge for me to actually break through.
With 3 tackle pieces, that's a possibility though.
Well, and 2 frenzy. The frenzy helps as well push his guys out of position. But you're right, it's Woodhouse, mate. I could spend 6 turns trying to get a touchdown, and he can then just get a touchdown straight back in 2 turns.
Look at these fucking war dancers. They've each got... Well, one of them's got 5 skill ups, one's got 4.
Billy Bonner,
a 9 movement with... Is that sprint or sure feet? Looks like sprint.
Sure feet. Sprint should be. Let's have a quick look. I'm just jumping in.
Yeah, it's sprint. So, he'll get to go that extra distance. He's a 1-turn touchdown piece.
He's one off. Yep.
He's one off. He's got to be able to go 14 in a turn.
Yeah, but he's got sidestep. So what happens is he got grab.
It's easy to do the 1-turner.
Yeah, it's more of an... And that's what I mean. I can try and bash him to pieces. I can try and hold off as long as possible. But they can just come back and score just like that. And that's why I would probably say, unless my Mighty Blow kicks in, and I can get a couple of injuries early, it's going to be a Wood Elf win.
Well, that's what I've tipped, but I reckon it'll be pretty close. You've obviously got a good track record, and when he beat you recently, it was only a small one anyway. No, it was a draw, wasn't it? When he beat the Lizards, it was only 1-0.
Yeah.
But he got a million SPP off that last bloody game he played with 8 touchdowns too, which is probably why his audiences are as high as they are.
They are.
So look, I think it's going to be tough for you, mate.
He's only got his catches on the other hand, the bread and butter. He's got a wrestle. Yeah, the rest of the team, once you take those war dancers out, he is in a bit of trouble. Guess who I'm going to aim for? Shh, don't tell Cedric.
Yeah, well, those tackle pieces will do that too. Let's move on to the shit pit. What do you reckon?
Let's do that. Let's go back. Shit pit it shall be. Jump in. Again.
So, I'm just having a look to see.
This whole section, so that group we just went through seems to have a bit of everything, a bit of agility, a bit of bash. This is just ridiculous, this group. It's just...
and this is when people see these other conferences, the Knob Mob is all bash just about, plus a pretty bashy halfling team. So, it's a bit uneven in the end. But that's all right. So the first game we've got between Valhalla's Rejects and the Filthiest Rats, I know. So Filthiest Rats being the incumbent champion. But let's have a gaze at Crimson Warriors, Valhalla's Rejects. We know the coach here is Pickle as well, so if we use that name, it's a bit...
It is. Pickle, he's our Canadian player, I believe. He's Canadian.
French-Canadian.
Oh, sorry. Still writes better English than I do on the forums. Let's have a look, yeah.
Can't all be geniuses. There's some good skill ups here too, isn't there?
Just having a look now. So we've got an Agility 4 Berserker with tackle and it looks like strip ball.
Strip ball, yep.
With frenzy, I like that. Strip ball with frenzy and tackle.
It's handy, isn't it?
And the ability to dodge in on Agility 4. It's a nice piece.
Really good. His other Berserker's a guard piece.
With stand firm. It's good.
Yeah.
With the minus movement, he's built him up well.
Yeah. Agreed. Then he's got his Block Mighty Blow Yeti. That's a punishing piece, that one. I don't know what's the AV on. Who's he playing against again? He's playing against rats, so it doesn't really matter that he's got claw, but yeah, that Mighty Blow and block is going to punish them. So,
but it's a disturbing presence is also going to, I think, play a bigger part, and it's something that the rats are going to have to look out for.
Yeah, you're right.
I've played this matchup before on my tabletop, and you just forget that Yeti's got disturbing presence. You expect it on Nurgle, but you try and do a pick up, and he's like, or a throw, and you're like, shit.
Yep.
Yeah,
it makes it tough.
You got a wrestle in there. He's got the kick, so.
Only two tackle pieces, which will probably, that'll be handy, but he might regret only having 2. And quite a bit of sidestep.
He does.
So 2 sidestep pieces. Yeah.
Has he got short hands? He does.
He does. Thrower. Yeah, on the thrower.
That's a nice
and that thrower can throw. Yeah.
That's a nice thrower. But he has. Pretty good. Again, being armor value 7, you can tell it's taken a bit of a toll. We've got three stats that have been decreased. I don't think he's going to have the speed. I think that's going to be the biggest factor. He's got the Apothecary, he's got the 3 team rolls, but no enhancement.
Luke's just dominating at the moment, unless Luke gets... Well, let's look at Luke's team. Yeah. Let's look at his team.
It's beautiful. And the problem is, Luke and the other Luke have benefited massively by being in 2 divisions now with very little bash.
Yeah, absolutely.
They have just managed to get an average of 2 touchdowns every game and not get injured.
And look, Blake Nuts is only 6 points off his 6th level. That's nuts. Like, how does a gutter runner live that long? And I was talking about bounties before. Yeah. That gutter runner's got to die.
That's your natural one-turner.
Yeah.
He's got
That's
sprint.
just ludicrous.
It's beautiful. It's he's got. He's 5 off, so which means unless he dies, he's going to get some sure feet or sprint, whichever one. Sure feet will be the next one, and that's it. Goodbye.
Yeah, he's the perfect piece.
Yep.
Having said that, my favourite piece on this team is his next one, Planting Lima. Strength up, horns, gutter runner, block, tackle. He's a beast. That gutter runner is a beast. I've seen him do some great work. And, people just don't expect that because flying from anywhere can dodge it if he needs to. Dodge doesn't help. Fantastic piece.
Straight 4 on you. It's just like,
Yeah. The horned rat.
And then he's got a nice, beautiful gutter runner, which is the strict board, dauntless. And then another wrestle piece with agility 5. Oh.
I didn't realise how many edge up pieces he's got. And look, the Pass Dog, what a fabulous piece that is. I didn't realise it had edge up. It's a bit incongruous because the real Pass Dog is the fumbliest, fattest fuck on the planet. So it's a bit weird, but
he had Galanite on there and I killed him.
yeah. Well, the Pass Dog's only a recent addition. So, but Stormsaxon's a pretty impressive piece there too, really, isn't he? Takes out a few.
He hasn't got the claw.
Not yet.
He hasn't rolled the double to get claw.
Yeah.
You couldn't give up the agility, of course.
No, that's great. It adds so much extra flexibility, doesn't it?
It is. One of the things he did say was he tries to keep his TV as low as possible. You'll notice that he's got no thrower and he's got no rat ogre.
Yeah.
And had a bit of a talk to him. He just went, nah, just not needed. TV, it's all about the TV. He hasn't got a stadium upgrade. I'm thinking 3-0, mate. I'm going to go Scorpius Rats.
I reckon he's winning by a mile.
Yeah.
I just, unless Pickle or Crimson Warrior can get that little bit of luck in and take out a few early pieces, Luke's just dominating at the moment, and I don't expect that to change right now.
I would have to say, unless the Mac goes through the fouling route and just spend a whole half just trying to decimate this team, I can't see him just doing normal defence. Not without Planting Lima, not with Blake, not with Covey. Christ, it's just, they come at all angles and you just can't stop them all. You have to send 2 people against one gutter runner and it does nothing anyway. So
yeah, I think that's right.
Good luck, mate.
So yeah, no, I don't envy him, but I think that'll be right.
So from one champion to the runner-up, and
to the runner-up.
Won.
Yeah, so that's our Luca, as he's starting to be called. Luke Adrian, and he's playing off against Blake's, and Blake is absolutely stellar with this Kislev team, B-Nuts Musical Jamboree.
He's 200 games with Kislev?
Yeah, that's what I understand. Nuts. And he just knows how to max it out. I'm jumping into the Fluke Flyaballs, is that where you're at?
Sure, I'll jump into them. So this team is probably equal favourites with the filthiest rats to take out this season. Let's have a look.
It's tough that they're in the same mob again, but they were in the same conference last season, and they still both made it to the final. So
the semis was one faced Chaos and one faced Necro, and neither of the Bash teams had enough anti-speed. Because both of our teams were coming up through Bash leagues, so everyone took the mighty blow, everyone took the guard, but when you go up to these teams, you're like, well, shit, I've got no tackle. And if you have a look at Luke's team, you can see why you need tackle. That's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
dodgy
6, 7,
bastards.
8, 9, 10 fucking dodge.
Yeah, and with all that AG, it doesn't even matter. Like, they'll dodge out most of the time anyway. Like you really are waiting for them double ones. But then look, the rest of him, he's got no skill ups. Stat ups.
Nope.
He's got some impressive pieces here. Block, guard, dodge, sidestep. That's a pretty substantial ball carrier. once they got the ball. He got a strip ball piece, a couple of tackle pieces of his own. And that'll do well against the Kislev squad, that tackle. There's a couple of dodge pieces in there, isn't there?
There are. The problem is it's going to be he's only got one sure hand, which is the thrower. I think that might be an issue against the Kislev because I'm pretty certain we'll see it soon, but for all his speed, the Kislev I think have a really good matchup against this. It's going to be you got two very experienced coaches with teams that they love. It's going to be a hard one to pick, I think.
It's quite a bit of block on here actually, which might go in his favour too.
Yeah,
and where there's no block, there's a bit of wrestle. So,
yep.
That might work out for him in the end.
It's going to be interesting. Strangely enough though, he's only got 2 team re-rolls on his team.
Yeah.
So he's playing a bit low, and no enhancement yet.
He's going to go into this one with the higher TV too, so like by over 100, I think. So that might disadvantage him in the end too.
90.
Yeah. Okay.
So if I jump over to Blake, let's have a look at this guy. Ooh, are they missing some? He's only got 11 players.
Yeah, but you don't expect many to get Kaz in this match either.
In this match and this actual whole division.
Not a lot of Kaz's. Look at these catches though.
Yep.
Jesus.
Dodge.
Wow, there's plenty of block here too. Yeah, okay.
Like
I haven't seen Blake's team for a while.
They're pretty much
couple of guard pieces.
Yep. The tame bear with tentacle.
Oh
no, tail. Sorry,
that'll help.
the tail.
Prehensile tail, yeah, that will help too.
He's going to need to use that.
Diving tackle as well. This is the sort of thing that I think it's a skill that people forget about often.
Yep.
And that's gonna help out too. Yeah, look, this is going to be a great matchup. I had this as one of the harder ones to pick.
It definitely was. It definitely was. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I may have put this one as a draw because I don't think I could split them.
Oh, you know what? We've talked about the 2 wrong teams. This is my bad. Blake's playing against Druid and Luke's playing against Frenzy. So we've talked about...
Well, those are the 2 teams. Now let's see who
those are 2 of the teams. In Love and Death are playing against the Fluke Fireballs. So, look, this is a bit easier. Frenzy's not being able to pull it out with his squad. And he must have suffered a few Kazas because he hasn't got a lot of SPP on here either. I just think that's going to be a whitewash. now that we're comparing the right teams.
So it's Frenzy. So it's Dark Elves versus the Elf-Off.
Yeah, it's an Elf-Off, the Elvish Union.
You're right though. Frenzy just seems to lose players at the wrong time. Is the problem with Frenzy's team. He's beaten me in the league. He can beat anyone on any day, but all of a sudden especially his Witch Elves, and Witch Elves are known to drop. But I mean, we're up to the 3rd cycle, and he's got a brand new Witch Elf.
Yeah.
His other Witch Elf, he's only got block and sidestep. So.
And he's lost both of his games this season against Valhalla's Rejects and the B-Nuts Musical Jamboree. I think he's in a bit of trouble.
I think he is. He'll put up a good fight, but I mean against Luke, I don't think many people are going to stop Luke until maybe Show Pody
next season. Yeah, I think that's right. All right, so let's get this right now. So it's B-Nuts Musical Jamboree versus Druid Bards, the aggressive pass rushers Wood Elf team. Druid Bard had a pretty tough match of the first round of the season. He had a lot of death, but he came through the win last week, so he's been able to cope.
Another excellent Wood Elf player. He's very good with it. But as you said, I think it was the first game, the AV7 just absolutely imploded. He killed him. I think he killed more of his own players trying to dodge away from people than the opponent actually did on him.
I think I'm going to go into the actual game itself. I think he might have actually had 2 deaths and a stat hit, and it was against Skaven.
Yeah, it was not good at all. What are you doing now?
Yeah, 2 deaths and 7 casualties he sustained, and and that you can see that in his team. I know a lot of Wood Elf players like to sit pretty low on their TV, and they often have loners in there, but he's quite low there.
1260, yeah. The problem is he must have lost some developed players because he's got a thrower undeveloped. He's got 1 lineman with block. Like you can see all the 5s and 6s. He's got a beautiful lineman, 7-4-4-8. I like that lineman.
Yeah, that's impressive. He can stand around for a bit, but no block, right? Like so, he's a little ways off leveling.
Oh no, he's got 5 block pieces, which is not too bad. A catcher with block.
So I just mean that lineman could really use block.
No block. No block.
Yeah.
I think he's going to have to score fast. I think he's going to have to take risks against.
His TV's pretty low though. Like he could. What's the difference? Blake's got 1690. Druid's on 1260. Like he could get a tree out of that. He'd probably afford deep root, to be honest.
No, go for the Hypno Gaze player.
Yeah.
Right, go for the Hypno. Because if Blake tries to cage up, you send in the Hypno, bam, frags it. If he tries to do a screen, Hypno, run right through. And
walk right through.
Yeah, and with Leaping War Dancers, I would definitely just, I would expect him to get that player, maybe get another reroll just because I'll be taking risks to try and just cage dive constantly.
Yeah.
Maybe even pick up a bribe. Get aggressive. Get your loners in there.
Yeah.
But I would have to say...
I got Blake for this one.
Yeah, Blake as well.
I think Druid's just down low, but this is one of the ones I found hardest to pick, and I almost went with the draw. I wouldn't be surprised there either.
It's going to come down to the what he spends his inducements on, I think, and how he uses them.
Yeah, there'll certainly be a big influence on that game. All right, that's the ship pick done.
It is. What we got? We're up to the Knob Mob.
The Knob Mob, the best mob.
Knob Mob. Oh, that sounds like someone's in there, but I know.
All right, first game in the Knob Mob, Gator Mash versus Red Black Red.
Apparently trying to press delete is not a good thing.
All right, here we go. Details.
A second, I'm trying to get in. Derp.
So we've got Lonrose, Red Black Red. Lonrose a pretty good coach, or definitely a good Chaos coach. He's been doing all right, and they're playing off against Stormy's Gator Mash. This will be a pretty intense affair, I think. Why don't we start with Lonrose?
He just came off
squad.
a very good win in the round 2 tonight. He just beat
that's
Bubba
right. He only
2-0.
played tonight, didn't he?
Yep, just beat Bubba 2-0. His positioning, Lonrose has got one of the best positionings you'll ever see a player have. He's got you'll have 5 players defending 11, and it feels like you're outnumbered every time. He's that good at it. He was also the Show Pony semi-finalist.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, who beat him in that semi? Let's have a quick look at the history.
That was Fluke.
Fluke, yeah.
Because it was Skaven that beat me.
Yeah. 3-1 beaten. So, look, I think this is a pretty intimidating team, So these Saurus are going to have AV8 because there's 2 claw pieces here with Mighty Blow.
Yep.
Stormy's just come off 2 games where he lost a Saurus died in both games.
Yep.
When we get there, he might actually have an MNG too, though that might have been the last game. So his guys are under a bit of pressure. He's lost a bit of skills as a result. He's just lost his game against another Chaos team, the Nurgle team, being played by Gifted.
Yep.
Gifted Covey, and so I reckon this has got to be a pretty intimidating team for him. Out of 11 pieces, 10 block.
Yep.
Which is just wild. No skill, no stat ups.
But
Beastman with sure hands and 2 heads, which is pretty fun.
I like it.
Yeah, you need something like that on a squad like this. Only one bit of guard though. Only one bit of guard, which might might be a bit of a punish for him in this comp.
But he's got the agility 3. That's the beauty of the Chaos Warrior. They're still agility 3. They're not. If they're agility
Not impossible
2,
to dodge out.
They can. Yeah, it's a 3+ dodge. Like, it's not that bad. 2 heads I like. I wonder if Big Hand would not have been a little bit better. But he knows more than I do about Chaos, so I like to look at it. Only one tackle piece, and this is the problem. You'll probably find he's going to want some. If he's got an eye for the show pony,
Tackle pieces, the 2 beasts of a tackle.
Yeah, he's going to need more tackle
to get through to the show pony final. You reckon?
Yep, I think he's going to be one of the favourites to get to the show pony. And if he goes in with just a pure bash team with not much defense against agility teams, I think it's going to cost him in the long run. Has he got an upgrade? Ooh, he too has the riot and pitch invasion.
Yeah, right.
Security gate. So looking good. So who's he playing against? And
Gator Mash, Stormius Termit.
We're definitely good on this one.
Yep, got it.
Yep, we got it good.
For sure. This is my mob. So, as I say, Stormy's had a bit of a rough run. He's had a couple of Saurus deaths in the last little bit. Looks like he's replaced them all, no M&Gs, but he's got 2 fresh ones who are really going to hate all that block. So that's going to be a real punish. He's got a guard block Croxivore though.
Yeah, and a strength 5 block Saurus.
Yeah. So he's only just got that block, so that's much needed on big old Salty there. He's got 3 sidestep skinks, 2 of them with diving tackle, so probably won't matter much in this next game. But there is that 2 heads. That 2 heads beast man, and you were just saying that one of the best things about the Chaos Warrior piece is that Edge 3, which will be negated here somewhat by some of these extra bits going on.
It's going to come down to the
Prehensile
skinks,
tail as well.
It's going to come down to the skinks. The skinks. If the skinks can do their job, all they have to do is he's got to try and spread them out a little bit, the Chaos team, and then just break through. And if a skink can get through them, that's it. They'll make a touchdown. So,
I don't know. Look, I think it does come down to that. But for me, this one's about can he survive against 2 Claw Mighty Blow pieces, and I reckon he's going to be in a bit of trouble. Those 2 blockless Sauruses are going to have big targets on him. And once he's down 2, and we saw it last night against Gifted, once he's down a couple of Saurus, it's really hard. It's really hard. And they always lose a couple of skinks. So, I reckon he's in a pretty tight spot here. The skinks, there are a couple of tackle pieces on Lonro's squad. I reckon Lonro's got this one.
I'm going to be the kiss of death and say a draw. I think Turnip is due to have at least his whole team not die for once. I think he will be able to.
By that logic, Dubs Matt would win more.
Oh, Matt's going to win a show pony cup based on that logic. I think he deserves it. I feel like he's going to get outbashed, but I think the Skinks are going to keep him in the game, and I think I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. Is how I feel.
Yeah, right. I reckon this is a 2-1 loss for Stormy, and I reckon Longro's got it.
Alright. Who we got up next?
Just getting back out there. Oh, why don't we go to the Tasteless Gentleman versus the Orcs by the illustrious the Pastog against Could Be Worst's Bubba Tattoo.
Who just came off a loss. What we got?
Yeah.
He's only on 1330 TV.
That's going to be a punish.
That's 300. Ow.
Yeah.
We'll have
I'm not going to enjoy that.
First.
Are you going into mine first?
Go into yours. Let's have a look.
Got some creative choices here. Come on. All right, you'll go. You can tear it apart.
No. I've been watching your progress, so it's been going good. I mean, you made it to the finals of the Don't Even Bother Bowl. Only just missing out.
Making it there with my one and only win in the competition.
Yeah, look, you've got Black Orcs. You've got all blocks. Beautiful. You've got your little Gobbo. Yep. You got the best troll. The best troll ever. A great
He's gone
tackle
from the
dodge.
worst troll with dodge to an amazing troll with break tackle and dodge.
He just needed the break tackle. That's all
Yeah.
it was. You've got your movement 8 blitzer with sure hands, so he's obviously a runner. You're missing a blitzer though with your guard. And,
Yeah, that's going to suck.
Ouch.
Yep.
Ouch,
Yep.
ouch. But your throw is amazing. You've got another good blitzer. Listen, I think you've got most of the tools that you need for an Orc team. You got kick in there. You got 3 team rerolls. Do you have any? And you've got the no right, no
Security gate.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, your team's pretty good. And of course, you got Fickerless Cage, the strength 5 guard block piece. Black Orc. I love it.
He makes me happy, and he went down last game and made me very nervous.
That's
He
it.
was it was the first time he's been KO'd, and as soon as the going down animation happened, I shat myself. But he made it through, so that's not so bad.
I know the feeling.
I know, but that was against halflings, so that's got to go against me.
But as strong as your team are, and I think the key is going to be that all your Black Orcs have block, and you've got 2 strength 5s. Because if we have a look at the man himself, Bubba Tattoo, such a nice, tight looking team. But he's missing a Troll Slayer. He's always missing a Blitzer
And a
as well.
blitzer. Yeah, and he's just had a piece die last game as well. So he's down to 10 pieces. He's going to have a loner. All his tackle's going to do him diddly squat, except if I decide to try and break tackle with the troll. And that only works if a dodge comes into play anyway.
Yeah.
And then,
poor Lena, though.
though putting the troll down is going to be a bit harder. He does have a lot of guard, but I've just added a little bit of guard to those Black Hawks as well. It's Paul Lana, the runner, that is the funnest piece on this squad, I think.
I tried to do a turn 16 foul on that little bitch.
Yeah. And look, if we're talking about bounties, this guy's got to have one on him, right? Like he's got to die.
Absolutely, it's the kingpin of his whole team. Let's be honest.
Yeah. This is the elfiest dwarf team in history, and it's all down to this guy.
He will pass, he will dodge, he'll forget to play dwarves. It's the slowest elf team you've ever played against. I think, and I was having a discussion with Luke on the forums, on Discord. We're talking about, there's a lot of guard, right? But if you've got strength 4, he really needs 2 people still just to equal you, even with the guard. That's why having a couple of strength 4 players with guard really just negates a lot of these sort of long-beard guard spams. Because, fine, if he wants to send 3-4 guys to hit one of your players, that's 3-4 fucking dwarves on one of your players.
And that's space, right?
That's space. You break out, you've got your little goblin, give it to him, you've got your movement 8 blitzer with sure hands. Have a nice day. He's got mighty blow but no claw. You just chuck in your troll and your big orc and you go, let's do it. Either I smash you every turn, or you come in with your guard. Let's see what we can do. This was a hard one. I think
don't you give me the kiss of death, Jawa. Don't you give it to me. Tip Bubba. Tip Bubba.
I think I want to say another draw. These bash games are hard. And
Bloody oath. Now, in your tips, which you sent me earlier, you did tip Bubba, so I'm putting that down as a kiss. Yeah, I'm putting that down as a kiss of death. I've tipped myself, and as I always do, even though it's unnecessary.
Yep.
And my notes to myself there are, come on, fuck yeah, I need a win.
You do. And most of your games have been just one bad turn. That's all it's been.
It could be, yeah, and you know, one bad decision, and I get punished for that, and then I tend to defend well and almost recover, but I just don't get there. I think I've had a look back at those games, and I can point at each game. Doesn't matter what the dice are. I can always point to one thing that happened, and I go, yep, that's probably it. Probably where it went to shit. So
the advantage you've got here, though, you can recover quicker than the dwarves. Like the problem with orcs is if something goes wrong, it's very hard to try and recover and move quickly to react. Where against dwarves, if you fall over, they're not going anywhere fast.
Yeah.
You get back up and hit them again. So
yeah, I think my movement 8 piece is going to be crucial in this game.
absolutely. Maybe that's the bounty for dwarves. You've got your strength 5, but a movement 8 blocking sure hands. It's just like Polana there. It might be.
I prefer you didn't put ideas into Bubba's head. Thank you.
He's too experienced, mate. He's played dwarves since Blood Bowl's been invented, mate. So
yeah, and he basically is a dwarf, right?
He is a dwarf, mate. Right. He drinks enough.
So the last two teams in this comp is Baldwin's Buffet Bandits, the halfling team that just beat me last round, and the Habib's Heroes Gifted Covies, our elder statesman's team.
750
of Nurgle.
Yep, 750 difference plus a skill up, so you're looking at nearly close to 800.
800, yeah. Interesting to see what Gifted does with that. Who is it? It's a Nurgle warrior with block too.
Oh yes, that's one
so
we're
you want to be
discussing.
hanging on to that.
I suggest a guard. Again, because he hasn't played dwarves yet, having those 2 strength 4s with guard.
Yeah, it'll make a big difference.
Yeah, it offsets. I feel like it offsets it. I don't think Mighty Blow's necessary. Another one could be tackle.
He's got a few Mighty Blow pieces.
Well, that's
he could go tackle, but that's an investment in our conference. That's an investment for the finals. That doesn't get you through the conference. Having said that, Gifted's going well. I think he's won both of his games so far. Yep, he has. No, he hasn't. He lost to Lonro. So he beat Gatormash 1-0 and he lost to Lonro. So to get through to the Show Pony Cup, he's going to have to win the next couple. Yeah. And I think he can. Halflings is going to be pretty tough ask for the Halflings to beat him, I think.
Disturbing presence is going to, again, play a part here.
Absolutely. Those Halfling throws aren't going to be particularly good.
And that fucking tentacle. Oh.
Yeah. That beast in Nurgle. Stand firm and guard on him too. That's pretty good.
But
pretty
only
good.
5, no block. He's not going to have any rerolls. That's going to be the problem. The chef's going to come out. And
And as I learned last game, if you can't pick up the ball, you're in a bit of trouble. He's got 1 sure hands piece, but again, as I learned last game with 2 sure hands pieces, you need at least 3 turns to guarantee to pick it up in the rain. If this sure hands piece goes down, with the master assassin Bungo Weatherby coming in to have a bit of a go, that's entirely possible. It could be a bit of trouble there for Gifted.
He is, but he's got the block. If he just goes the attrition route, it's going to be interesting. Let's have a look at this, 'cause the man...
He could actually, just one last comment, he's got this Claw, Mighty Blow, Pestigore. That could do some damage to trees with the guard set up right too, so...
But that's a trap. Yeah. I've discovered that that's a trap. If you try and send in your killers against their biggest, baddest, and that's what happened with Mangina when I played against Brog. He would put out the ogre and you're like, I can get him, but you have to chuck 3 players into it, and then you all go down, and you just stand there and you're like, well, fuck.
And once we get into the Buffet Bandit squad, as any good halfling team, he's got 2 trees. He pretty much always takes deep root on top of that with that amount of team value, plus the halfling chef. He had Puggy against me. He's got enough TV to have something different this time if he wants. Though he also took the wizard against me, which was amazing, by the way. 4 down, 1 injury.
Yep, fireball. It only works once every 5 times, but when it does...
Fuck, it was good. Well placed. But anyway, these trees are impressive. One of them's got extra movement and break tackle. And this is the thing we were talking about. We're talking about the one he can stand up, but we're talking about the one thing. One bad turn. He dodged the break tackle tree in onto my ball carrier, and that just changed the face of my game. He dodged past the Black Hawk, didn't even knock the ball carrier down, but he was base to the base with the ball carrier, and that just puts you in a lot of trouble if there's a tree on your ball carrier like that. And with break tackle, he can do it. And for instance, if you've got a sure hands Pestigore and you're close to that tree, look out.
Yep, because the Nurgle are not going to be moving that fast away anyway.
No.
So where is he? Bungo Weatherby.
Bungo Weatherby.
Let's
Talk about a star. Everyone's got a poster of Bungo Weatherby up on their wall in the Oceania BBL.
Mate, he's on my dartboard.
He's on the bounty list for sure, and part of the reason I think, like I went after him a bit last week, and maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe I should have paid him a little less attention, worried about him a little less, and just played my game. But I really wanted that credit. But you know, Mighty Blow, piling on, jump up, agility plus. That is an impressive halfling.
He just keeps coming at you too.
And Baldwin is great at putting him in the right spot.
Yep. He's got no block, but it doesn't seem to matter. Does not seem to matter at all.
No.
It's very impressive. But how's the rest of his team?
Well, they're halflings, right? Yeah. He's got a dirty player and sure hands, which is probably enough. You know, I don't know where Baldwin sits with the skill ups, but unless he gets something special, maybe he just sacks them.
I would think so. Unless there's like an agility 4 that you can pick up, or a strength 3, I guess.
Yeah, if you get doubles, maybe.
But again, it's a halfling. What's a strength 3 halfling? What's a strength 4 agility 4 halfling? It's still movement 5, but armor value 6. 30 TV.
I don't know. That H plus is pretty handy, I reckon.
Oh, on that character, yes, because he had everything else.
Yeah, but I reckon on any halfling it's pretty handy. It helps with the dodging, helps with having a ball carrier, and you know, all of a sudden you've got a pass option a bit more often than you thought too, given the stunty isn't as impactful.
Yeah, and then you've got the Nuffle Altar, as you said, 50k less. That's why you can get two-star players.
I think I've seen him have both Morgan Thorg and Deep Root on the field, so
yep.
You know,
I think
I've
tipped Nogel for this game. I feel like with all that block, he's just going to be able to out-nutrition him.
Yeah. And you have? I have too.
Yeah. It's hard to tip the halflings. I mean, it's not often they can win.
And they got their win last week. So, you know, they must be due for a loss, right?
We've all lost to halflings in our time. We've all lost.
Yeah, look, I just think the halflings aren't going to last long against all the extra strength and all that sort of stuff. There is a couple of tackle pieces. There's one tackle piece, I think, on the other team. But just, you know, I think Gifted's going to be good enough at getting away from the trees to just let it go.
Yep, it's definitely the one tackle on a rider with block as well. So, all right, we're up to the last one, I believe, which is the Turd Herd. League settings, details. Let's have a look at that. Now this is a bit of a mixed up one as well.
Yeah, it's good. I like them when they've got a little bit more variety. Well, it's good that we've got variety across it, to be honest. So I'm just getting in there. First match we've got in the Turd Herd. Must be the Buff Boys in Speedos versus the Bloody Penetrators.
Right, so the Bloody Penetrators is a fill-in team by Gifted. That's why we're seeing him again, because we did lose a player. Goblins. We'll have a quick look at the Goblins. I mean, again, they're just a fill-in. Basically, it's just Goblins, man, isn't it? It's bring all the secret weapons, bring on some vowels. Let's see if he's got... Yeah, he's got the referee, so he's got the bribe.
He's also got a break tackle troll with block. Yeah, and his other troll's fucking having a game off, so that's no good.
Plus, the Looney's gone, so that's his...
Yeah, that's tough. That's the chainsaw fella.
Yeah. Is that the chainsaw? Yeah. But the Poga. That's how you score. Diving tackle everywhere. The blunderbuss. It's a standard Goblin team. I mean, they're really here just to fill in.
Lots of diving tackle. Don't know that that's going to be that relevant in this one, but it's there.
It skinks. It was either that or sidestep.
Yeah.
But against the Buff Boys, now the Buff Boys, I believe, are the most foul-heavy team we've got, isn't it? I'm pretty certain.
He fouls a lot, does he?
He does foul. I think he had the highest amount of casualties or getting close to it last season.
Yeah, right. Does he have this? I think Bubba got the highest number of kills.
Yeah.
But yeah, you might be right on the Kazas.
Yeah, I went up against him last season, and holy shit! As soon as one of your players goes down, he just kicks the bejesus out of you. But
look at the number of. Are you in Buff Boys and Speedo's team list yet?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
This is Matt, who is the youngest in our crew. I think. You know,
21.
Sprightly 21. A whippersnapper. So, but look at the number of injuries he's got. He's got a niggle on his Yeti.
His thrower, his lineman, another lineman, and he's missing another lineman.
Yeah, it's going to be. That could be a punish. He's got a fresh wolf.
Yeah. See something. Well, he must have had 2 fresh wolves because the other one has only just got blocked.
Only got blocked. Yeah.
So
I think you're right. He might have been punished a bit.
Yeah.
His runner's got, what's that? Dive, is that catch and sure hands? Yeah, okay. So he's planning to throw the ball. His thrower's got accurate. So look, the bloody penetrator's going to have to watch for that. You know, that's a nice little passing package to get you out of a bit of strife, or just score in the pinch.
Yeah.
Only got 2 Mighty Blow pieces, but that's not going to matter too much against Goblins. Only got 1 tackle piece.
2.
2, you're right.
Yeah,
yep.
Lineman and Berserker. The Berserker's going to come in handy. I think I picked Goblins actually in this game, and just because the Buff Boys are pretty much running out of steam, it's got nothing to do with how Matt's running them, but they're starting to fall, but they're getting held by sticky tape at the moment.
They really are. I wish I'd looked at the squad before I'd put my tips in, because I might have gone the same way, but I've actually tipped. I've gone for the draw, actually.
The draw, yeah.
No, that's you. No, you've gone for the draw. That's your tips.
Right.
I went for the Norse. I reckon that's a bad pick, actually, the draw, because they could both have a lot of attrition and then just not be able to wrap it out once it comes around. But I went with the Norse. Having actually never watched the Bloody Penetrators, I'm familiar with the rest of the team, because this is the ring-in one.
Yep.
I wasn't sure, and Gifted's a shithouse coach, so.
I don't think Matt look, I'm just without saying really. I don't think Matt's seen Goblins play before, and Goblins have a lot of surprise things that you don't see on any other team. When that bomb starts flying, I think Matt's going to go. Yeah. What's a bomb? Kaboom.
Yeah, and look, and he's got an Edge 2 lineman and an Edge 1 Yeti. Like they are. And the Wolves have only got Edge 2 as well.
Yep.
They are perfect targets for a bomber.
Yep.
Perfect. Drop them every time.
Matt, have a quick casual carnage game against some Goblins, mate. Just see what they do. But I think the draw, I think I'm happy with that still, because I think while they might be out of attrition, I think the Goblins will still score.
I reckon Mad Dog will get it because he needs to.
We'll see how we go. It's 600 TV difference too.
Yeah, so there'll be some nice little bonuses there for Gifted as well.
If Gifted takes a wizard, I think it's just going to help him score.
Next game in this one, Black Diamond Bullets, Storm Saxon squad versus Planting Lemurs, Runt and Centaur Chaos Dwarves.
I'm going to start with Storm Saxon.
Black Diamond. Dwarf team.
They are the most pillow-fisted dwarves going around.
Yeah, this is so. Just to show you just how much Storm Saxon has struggled with this particular squad. This is the only team that the Tasteless Gentlemen have beat in the league, outside of Casual Carnage. So, he's had a pretty tough run, I think. A lot of Mighty Blow here.
It's interesting that he's got grab.
Yeah, on 2 pieces.
With the Mighty Blows.
And not a lot of guard for a dwarf team.
Well, that's what I mean. I'm surprised they weren't guard or, at the very least, stand firm. So if someone tried to punch him, doesn't drop him, he stands firm, and then you hit him back with your Mighty Blow. I'd
love to have a chat to him about what his rationale was there. We might have to, have a bit of a yak to him about how he uses those guard pieces. I like it. I like a bit of something different.
Oh, it's definitely different. It's definitely not following the have you taken guard? No, take guard.
Yeah, yeah.
Keep going. Who we got? We got the death
And it gives
roller.
him that little bit of flexibility too, like a thing like grab. So, but yeah, then there's the death roller. And again, I reckon this death roller's a bit just gonna pull up his stats. He's only inflicted 3 casualties.
Yeah.
For a death roller, that's just not doing your job.
Nope. I ran it in our side comp, the death roller.
Yeah.
It doesn't do anything. It really doesn't. I tried the same thing. I'm like, death roller with shadowing just for shits and giggles. Nothing, mate. Just even when I tried to run over people. But he's got a nice runner, yeah. He's got a solid team. Nothing outstanding. What I'm thinking of grab though, if I'm thinking about it, it's a good way to break open not cages, but maybe cages, but screens. So instead of pushing him backwards, you can push a guy forwards behind you. So you can break open elf screens and stuff like that. You've got more choice of opening up places for you. Is probably the thought behind that. But as you said, it'll be interesting to Storm, if you're watching this, let us know how you go, mate. Tell us why you took it. Has he got to the stadium? Nah. But Planting Lima, who's on fire. He made show pony quarters last season. Let's have a quick look there.
He's got an Edge Plus, Sure Hands, Block, Fend, Centaur. That's a cool piece. Bombardier, Bone Crusher.
Yeah, and then Major Pain. And I fell into the trap with Major Pain. I tried so many times to take him out with my werewolves. And just too many people got tied up trying to take out his strength 5. Where I should have just given him a zombie and went, yeah, kill him, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
He hasn't got that. He must have had to do some rebuilding himself because
well, there's a lot of investment in points on the 2 centaurs, really. You know, like that's seven skill ups there. So a lot of the SPP must have landed there to build them up through the seasons. I'm not sure if he's lost other players.
He's lost a blocker because he's on 0. I think he's lost a couple of blockers at some point. He does have a dodge hobgoblin. He's got a kick. I like this hobgoblin. Staff Sergeant Pepper. Kick and dirty player. Beautiful. And then
he's only sustained 2 deaths over its life, so unless it was a fairly recent one, and I'm not sure.
They're just not doing it.
But I get that probably doesn't count the ones that he sacked, I suppose.
And he's also got the bribe stadium.
Yeah, nice. With that dirty player and a bunch of hobbies, that goes down well.
Yep. So
he's got a 2-man bench.
2-man bench. I'm going to have to say, I think I'm pretty certain I tipped Planting Lima here. I mean, it's a dwarf off, but he's got at least a claw mighty blow on his side. He's got the dirty player, and he's got those bull centaurs, mate. And I think that's literally going to break the dwarves' backs. They're just going to get past them, and not much you can do. Oh, Storm Saxon. I like grab on mighty blow guys for opening up cages and keeping players
like you said.
Punch them. Yep. Fantastic.
Nice.
It's interesting. I'm not against it. I'm looking for. Hopefully, I get to see it in one of the replays. And it's a good idea. Instead of just pushing the player back into the ball carrier, you throw him backwards. He's not coming back in to protect it. I like it. Looks good. Yeah.
All right. Last match of the round is the Kamikazes Lords of Synth and Hedgehog or Nopopolus as emotional vampires. We'll start with the vampires.
Hedgehog.
Hedgie.
Everyone's favourite Russian. You know what? I'm just going to say shout out to Hedgie for sticking with his bloody team the entire time.
Must be frustrating.
It has been. They have been. And he's got the same problem that I encounter. He's got strength 4, blodging players, and they just get dropped. And it's so
people go
frustrating.
after him too, don't they?
Well, it's interesting because most players go after the thralls because if you can take a few of them out, then
Yeah, bloodthirst knocks it over any bloodlust.
that's it. But it's catch-22, isn't it? It's if you don't take them out quick enough, you've got all their best players running amok. So, do you go for their best players, and if you fail, they keep
And
going
look at
and
these
going.
vamps. Two of them, one of them's been skilled up 5 times, the other one 4. Both of them are blodging. One's got Edge 5,
Yep.
Pro,
Yep.
both with sidestep, 1 guard piece.
Yep.
They are impressive. You really just hope for the bloodlust, don't you?
You do, or the power. I had to play against this team for the finals the first season.
The wooden spoon.
The wooden spoon. Well, yeah, for the final on that one, the bowl actually. And he ends up doing more damage to his team than the opponent does with bloodlust. He's got the 4 rerolls to try and mitigate it. He is good at mitigating bloodlust. I'll give him credit for that. It's very good. But
I've seen him have some incredible hypno runs too, where he just breaks teams down. But that's the thing though. Like it's one of those things that just if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and you're left in a pretty vulnerable spot.
But if it does, he'll run up to your cage. He'll just go hypno gaze, and suddenly you've got no front end of the cage, and his guy just comes in and takes you out, and you're like, well, great.
And I only just learned tonight that Hypno Gaze is based off agility. So that agility 5 Snide colleague, he's going to do a pretty good job in there.
See, with Pro. So if you so what you can do is you send 2 vampires on one corner to try and definitely get it off, and then you send your Pro.
Send this guy.
Yep, and off you go. And then you've got a wrestle. You got spineless with wrestle. Perfect.
Yeah.
The problem is though, he's up against one of the best players in our competition.
It's going to be tough.
Our American
Kamikaze season 7 winner.
And 6.
And season 6 and 7 winner.
Yep.
Went out earlier than expected in season 8. I don't think the draw against the Orcs helped.
Nope.
I'm going to take a plug there.
No, go for it, man. You didn't lose, and that's what counts. No, what happened was he ended up having a team that was bashy against, I believe, an agility team, and it was just nothing you could do.
And the big thing here, the big thing in this team, 2 strength up whites, and I remember playing against them, and they are a punish. And now one of them's got break tackle.
Yep.
Holy shit, they are cool pieces. Those 2.
Yep. And the other one, where are they? Mighty Blow, tackle. They're beautiful. You couldn't ask for better than that.
Having a look though, he's got. I didn't realise he'd lost a ghoul, and it looks like he's got a bit of work to do before the next game. I think he's going to lose another ghoul because it's down to Edge 2.
Yeah, but it's what he'll do is it's a wrestle piece. So you'll find that he'll use him as a safety.
Right. So has it been there for a while, that injury?
I'm not too sure, but that's how he would keep it. Using a ghoul. With agility 2, he won't be the cage diver, but with movement 8, if an elf does try to run past you,
yeah.
But I mean, it's still 4+ with dodge built in.
Yeah.
So if he only needs to make 1 dodge, it's not the worst.
Yeah.
But is it worth getting rid of to get the
Don't know. It depends on how much he's worried about team value, I suppose. And look, he doesn't look to be.
He's plus 90 TV just in gold.
Yeah, that's right. And his team value is 1690, but I guess that'll be lower once. It must already be including the MNG zombie. So, okay.
I'm going to say Commie's going to win this one. It's not going to be by much. But the ghouls, man. If the ghouls, sorry, not the ghouls. If the hypno gaze can do its job, it's going to be interesting because undead generally cage up, and those ghouls are. If you can get past the mummies, if you can get past the whites, and try and get to those juicy ghouls, I know he's lost a lot of ghouls over the course of the games. They do drop. So But no, I'm
He's
still
got
going to go
3
with
now. I
Uncle.
think he only had 2 when I played him. So, and this one's just leveled up. It'll be interesting to see what he gives him. What do you give a leveled up bludgeon ghoul?
Well, he's sidestep.
Mm-hmm.
Sidestep's 1.
Because
slip
he's already
ball.
got sure hands.
Oh yeah, he's already got a sure hands piece. Yeah. If it wasn't sure hands, it just depends. I would maybe strip ball. He hasn't got any of that in here. Yeah, or sidestep, because with sidestep you can give the ball to him, run to the edge of, and you just can't get pushed off.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting. I'll be looking forward to jumping in.
That'd be a good match.
But yeah, so
That's
those
it.
are the
That's our
teams.
tips.
Went a little bit
Thanks
longer
for
than I was
inviting me
expecting.
along, Jar.
Oh no, look, you're an expert at tipsing, where I am horrendous. So to all those people that I've tipped, I apologise in advance. You can blame me for when you lose.
Oh, well, good luck, everybody, and yeah, good luck in your games too.
And to you,
Get
sir.
amongst it.
Exactly. And thank you for everyone that watches this later on. Take care, Pass Dog.
Cheers, mate. Bye.